ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां व्यासशंकरमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयं यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविधे नमः। Namaste. So in the previous class, we saw verse number 3, where it talks about just as prior to the creation of the air, which is Vayav Adinam Yata Utpattehe Purvam Kam Sarvagam Tatha Ahamekam Sada Sarvagam Chinmatra. So Ahamekam Sarva Chinmatra Sarvagam Advayaha. So there are many 4 or 5 things were there. First thing is Aham Ekam. So I am the only one. So there is no second thing other than me. So the same thing was also talked about in the Chandogya Upanishad. Right? So before the creation came into existence, before this universe came into existence, everything was undivided. And it was Ekam, Eva Advitiyam. So it's a very famous mantra, you must note it down. It's in Chandogya Upanishad. When we study, you will see. It is in chapter 6, chapter 6, verse number 2 and section 1. Sadheva Saumyam Idamagramasid Ekameva Advitiyam. Sadheva Saumyam Idamagramasid Ekameva Advitiyam. So Sadheva Saumyaha. So Saumyaha means what? Oh, pleasing one. So the teacher tells the student that, hey, I'm pleased with your attitude, a pleasing person. Sad eva. So Sat alone was existence before. And idam agre asit. So idam means here. Agre means before. Asit means existed. So Sad eva saumyam idam agre asit. So there is only Sat alone existed. There is no other thing other than Sat. And how was it? Ekam. So there is one. Eva Advitiyam, undivided, partless whole. So Advitiyam. So Advayam. Same thing says here, Ahamekam. See the word Ahamekam is referred to the same thing. Ahamekam. So there's only one. Sadha, always. So Sadheva, Sadha. So Sadha. Sarvam, all, in entirety. Chin Matram, we say, it is of the nature of consciousness. Chin, Chit Matram, Chid. So Chin Matram means consciousness alone. Matra means only. So only consciousness that existed. And how was it? It's of the nature of Sarvagam, that which pervades everything. And Advayam. So there are adjectives or references given to this consciousness, which is also referred in the Chandogya Upanishad, which we'll study at some point of time. So Aham Ekam Sadha Sarvam Chinmatram Sarvagam Advayam. So there are 6 different things mentioned here. The reason why it is said again and again, because for contemplation. Repetition is used by the Upanishad for to reinforce what we have learned before, so we don't forget it. So sometimes repetition is good, because the more we repeat, the more we chant, the more we are systematic, it goes into the uh, into the stream correctly. It's just like taking medicine. If you're having a blood pressure medicine, you have to take it regularly. If you don't take it regularly, it will have other effects. Like you will have, so you make it a point that the medicine is in your bloodstream all the time, because that is how the body is maintained, the pressure is maintained. Same way here also, the mantra has to be reinforced, or thoughts should be continuously be reinforced. Right? So Vayabdinam yata utpattehe purvam kam sarvagam dadha. Ahamekam sada sarvam chinmatram sarvagam advayaha. That's what we saw before. Now in verse number 4, ब्रह्माद्याः स्थावरन्ताये ब्रह्माद्याः स्थावरन्ताये प्राणिना मम पूस्मृताः प्राणिनो मम पूस्मृताः ब्रह्माद्याः स्थावरन्ताये प्राणिनो मम पूस्मृताः कामक्रोधादयो दोषा काम क्रोधादयो दोषा जायेरन्मे कुतोऽन्यतः जायेरन्मे कुतोऽन्यतः ब्रह्माद्याः स्थावरन्ताये प्राणिनो मम पूस्मृताः काम क्रोधादयो दोषा जायेरन्मे कुतोऽन्यतः. So first I'll give you the word by word meaning, then I'll go into the actual bhashyam or the detailed explanation of each of them. So the first word is Brahmadhyaha. So Brahma Adi. Brahma Adhyaha means what? Brahma Adi. So from Brahma onwards, Adi means beginning from the Brahmaji. Because source is from Brahma. So from Brahma to all the Stavarantaye. So Stavaranta means that which is immovable creation. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yatkinchita Saracharam. Correct. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yatkinchita Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yatkinchita Characharam. So all of this. So Charaha Acharaha means that which is movable, that which is not movable. Charam Acharam. And Stavaram Jangamam. So that which is has sentient and insentient. All of them. Tatpadam Darshitam Yena. So Tatpadaha, same thing here. So Brahmadhyaha Stavaranta. So from the Brahmaji onwards, which is to the immovable creation. So all is included. We are also included in this. Right? Then Ye Pranino. So Ye Pranino means what? Ye Pranino Mama Puhu Smritaha. So till all the pranis which are included from the Brahmaji to the immovable creation, all the pranis are included there. So Ye Pranino means this. Ye Pranino. Mama means mine. Right? Mama. Pusmritaha. So they are considered to be mine. So here the sadhaka is actually what he's saying is from the Brahmaji to all the creation, movable, immovable, that sentient, insentient, including me, they are mine. Which means what? I am present in all of them. When you say this is mine, means what? You are the knower. You are the illuminator. Correct. So you are present in everything. So Mama Puhu Smritaha. So Puhu means the bodies. Vapuhu means Shariram. So Puhu is the bodies. So the bodies of all the beings which are available from the Brahmaji to Stavarantaha, e Praninaha, Mama Puhu Spritaha. So Spriti means what? Remembrance, or this is considered. So you consider to be mine, or I'm considering, I'm contemplating that this is all mine. So when you include all of this from Brahmaji to everything here, including you, is there a possibility of second thing? There cannot be a second thing because you include everything. So you're present in all the living beings and non-living beings. So there cannot be any doshaha, there cannot be any dveshaha. So there cannot be any defects, because if defects are there, defects are belong to everything, correct? Then kama krodadihi. So kama krodadihi, what defects? Kamam means desire. Krodam means anger. Adihi means etc. Kama, krodam, moham, lobham, madham, matsaryam. So Shad Ripuhu, we call 6 enemies. Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Madha, Matsaryam. So Adi includes what? Kama, Krodha, etc. So all the other 4 you should add. Even though it is not mentioned here, you must add those things. Then all of them, Jaye, say doshaha. Dosha means defects. So they are supposed to be defects. See, Krodham is a defect. Desire is supposed to be a defect. Because Atma, the consciousness, doesn't have any Krodham. Consciousness doesn't have any desire. It doesn't have any animosity or enemy. It doesn't have anything called lust or anger or desire. So, in reality, these things are coming from where? Jair and me. So, coming from where? They come to me from where? So, Kutaha Anyataha means, Kutaha means what? From where? So, where are these coming to me? Because I am actually non-separate from everything. So they are coming from where? This is a question asked. So the lesson is that it cannot come from anywhere because it is actually not part of me. So Mama Eva Chidatmanaha. What I am the only one which is of the nature of Chid Atmanaha. So Mama Eva Chidatmanaha. Sarve Praninaha. So I am present in all the pranis, all the living beings. Then Puhu Puram Sharira Bhutaha. So Puram means what? I am the indweller of every living and non-living being. Correct. So I am the indweller. Means the Atma or the Dehi present in all the living and non-living being. Right. Tata Kama Krodadayo Doshaha. And therefore, Kama Krodaha Doshaha, etc. Atma me na swabhavikaha. Means what? Swabhavika means what? Is nature. Na swabhavika means what? It is not my nature. So Kama, Krodha, etc. is not my nature. It is belonging to the Prakriti. It is belonging to the universe. And because I am present in all the living and non-living beings as the essence, I do not get affected by anything because this is not my real nature. Right. So their bodies are also my body. So that's what it says here. Ye pranina mama pusmrtaha. So their bodies are also my body. So there cannot be any my problems are not only me. Everything is present. Right. So I am asangaha. I am untouched by their defects. See, if your dharma is adhyasam. See, if your dharma is adhyasam means what? Superimposition. correct? Then all the dharmas or all the associated actions which you do will be superimposed only, correct? So if your approach itself is that I am actually a limited person, I am actually a doer, I am actually a mortal, then all your actions subsequently are governed by that law called I am mortal. But when you say that I am actually not a mortal, I am actually the Shuddha Chaitanyam, and I do not have any of these defects, then any person who actually is saying anything to you, nor replying, you replying back to, you will not have the idea of replying back because he is not talking to you. He is talking to the physical body. Whereas from a standpoint of the physical body, yes, you can respond. From a standpoint of the Atma, you do not respond. That's why you see sannyasis don't respond anything, they don't say anything to you. If you ask them also, they'll just say like this, or they will just keep quiet. It is because that particular question they're asking is not relevant for them. If you ask them anything about Atma, the consciousness, then they will ask you something, so they'll tell you something. If you are making a passing comment about Jyotisham, astrology, my daughter wants to get married, my children want to get married, Tatastu, they will just say, because they do not have any connection with that. So these are not easy ideas to absorb. So it is not something overnight you can accept, saying that yes, I attended a couple of classes, I attended 6 months course, and then now I have become Atma. No, it is not possible because it is a subtle things are there. It is something which is incomprehensible. How can you arrive at a conclusion of something which is sarvagam? Let's say sarvagam means what? All, or pervading all. What pervading which? All means what? Pervading everything. Udurvi paidalma at Tamil. So Udurvi paidalana, that's that which is pervading, penetrating, and which is now spreading, and it is now established. Tiraha. So for that, you'll have to shake up you remove your individual identity. Non-individual identity. So as long as you have non or I am, the identity is there, you'll always be limited by superimposition. That's what it says here, that if you have got adhyasa buddhi, then all dharmas associated with the action will be adhyasa only. Whereas if you remove adhyasa, superimposition, then subsequently any actions you do will not be affected. Okay. That's why it says here in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse number 27, I think. So if you want to make a reference, you can make a reference. It's chapter number 13, verse number 27. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyastam aminashyattam yap pashyati sa pashyati. So samam sarveshu bhuteshu means what? I am present in every living being as the same, samam. I am not present in one person as this capacity, that capacity. I am present as one across everything. Right? Same thing is talked about in chapter 15 also. Sarvasa shaham trisannivishtaha matasmritis jnanam apohanancha vedaischa sarved ahameha vedyaha vedanta krit veda videha chaham. Correct? So aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritaha prana pana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidam. Correct? So those two verses are there in chapter 15, which is very important, which sort of corroborates this view that I am present in everything. So brahmadhyaha savarantaha ye pranina mama pusprutaha kama krodadayo dosha. Dosha means defects. So I do not have any defects per se. When you say I have defects, the defects are actually pertaining to the medium. Right? Upadhi is having defects, but upadhi sahitam is, the defects are possible. Upadhi rahitam, that which is without the upadhi, there cannot be defects. Right? That's what it says here. So kutome Anyataraha. So how can they be different? Right? Because they are always with me and they have a different order of reality. See, Aham Chaitanya, right? So I am Paramarthika Swarupa. And other things are about Vyavaharika Swarupa. So Paramarthikam and Vyavarikam cannot come together. They are of two different order of reality. But Vyavaharika Satyam is dealing with Mithya aspect only. Correct. So Vyavaharikam is transactional view is always with Mithya Lokam only. That Paramarthika Satyam is beyond Mithya. It is actually Satya Loka, Satyam. Right. So I am non-dual. So there's no creation. Therefore, there is no creation. There is no dissolution. There is no modification. There is no getting old, dying, rebirth, etc. is not applicable for me because I am always present in every living and non-living being, whether manifested or unmanifested, as Ekam. So it's a very subtle concept to be understood here. So the Asangatvam is explained in the next verse. Right? So how you can be Asangaha is being explained in the next verse, chapter in verse number 5. Bhutadoshai sada sprishtam Bhutadoshai sada sprishtam Sarvabhutastamishwaram Sarvabhutastamishwaram Bhutadoshai sada sprishtam Sarvabhutaistamishwaram Neelam yoma yatha balo Neelam yoma yatha balo Dushtam ma vikshate janaha Dushtam mam vikshate janaha Bhutat doshai sada sprushtam Sarva bhutastamishwaram Neelam yoma yata balo Drushtam ma vikshate janaha. So, Janaha mam Dushtam vikshate. So Janaha mam Dushtam vikshate. Second line, last four words. So what do? The people look upon me. Janaha means what? People. And vikshate means what? Ikshate means see. And vikshate means they consider. And what do they see? Mam, consider me, myself, as Dushtam, when you say is affected. So, and by whom? By Sarva Bhutastam, Bhuta Doshaihi. See, Bhuta Dosha means what? The defects present in the manifested objects. So Bhuta means what? All the living beings, all the beings present is called Bhutaha. And Doshaha means what? There are defects present in the manifested elements. The moment there is manifestation, there is actually defects. Can we call ourselves as perfect? No. Can we call this Jagat as perfect? No. Can we call anything in this world as perfect? No. It comes with its own defects. It has got gunas. Satta guna, Rajo guna, Tama guna. So there are definitely defects in this creation. That's what it says here. Sarva bhutsa. So Janaha vikshate dushtam mam. Right. So they see me in this manner by the defects of the elements. How? Yata balaha. Like children. Right. So see, the child can make mistakes, correct? Children are bound to make mistakes because their nature is to make mistakes. They are always on the error, right? So if a children makes a mistake, you do not take them seriously, correct? Do we? We don't. Even if it's a very 43-year-old child, also we say, see, See, that lady would have already, that child would have already got married. அவருக்கு குழந்தை இருக்கும், அவளுக்கு தாத்தா கூட சொல்ல முடியாது. ஆனா கூட என்ன, see, குழந்தை தான் என்னோட, my daughter is, my children is there, so you have always a வாத்சல்யம், வாத்சல்யம் இருக்கு. So you always forgive. See, whatever maybe the children, now குழந்தைகள் தான்ப்பா அப்படின்னு, because balaha. But here we are not talking about bala. What I am saying is here, the children can make mistakes because they are bound to. But here we are talking about the children means what? They are ajnanis. The ajnanis, what they think upon me as dushtam, ma dushtam vikshate. So they consider me as affected, or I got some problems by the defects of what? Bhuta doshaihi. Like a child, yata balaha. But what I am, he says here, next line, Neelam Vyomaha. So just as the blue sky, right? The blue sky remains unaffected by anything. See, one can say, the sky is polluted. No, the environment is polluted. The sky does not get polluted because there's nothing that can touch the sky. See, it is like saying that the sky can be compared to a TV screen. The TV screen is actually untouched by all the characters or all the emotions expressed in the serials or the movies which we are seeing and which the characters are emoting. So if the character is actually crying, or if the character is actually going through a trauma, the TV screen doesn't get affected. The TV screen doesn't say anything. It remains the same. You switch off the TV, it will still be there. The screen will be still there. You switch on the TV, again the screen will the pictures will keep on going. Correct. So the characters move in the screen, but the screen remains unaffected. Same way here also says here, Neelam Vyomaha. So Vyoma means what? Vyoma means sky, right? Or space. So sky doesn't get affected by, it is always blue in color. Right? And how is it? Sada sprushtam. So sada, see, sprushtam means, sprushaha means touch. And sada asprushtam. So you should take it as sada asprushtam. So asprushtam means what? That which is untouched. You cannot touch the sky. You can even go on an aeroplane, you can go wherever you want to go, you won't touch the sky, you cannot touch it because you can never reach the sky. Never reach it. So it's called sada asprushtam. It can never be touched. Always untouched. Same way, sarva bhutastam ishwaram. See, the Lord residing in all the beings also cannot be touched. So sarva bhutastam ishwaram. So the Atma which is residing in all of them cannot be touched by, cannot be felt. You cannot experience the Atma. Just as the sky, the blue sky is untouched, untainted, unpolluted. Same way, the Atma itself, Sarva Bhutastam Ishwaram. So what does it mean? Ishwaram means what? The indweller. And Sarva Bhutastam, the one who is present in all of them. Right? So he's untouched by all of them. That's what it says here. In the you can refer to chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, number 18, verse number 18. See, antavantam ime deha nityashokta sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmad yudyasva bharataha. So it says, Antamantam ime deha. So this deham is supposed to be what coming to an end, correct? And nityaha yuktaha sharirinaha. So the one who is present in the physical body is always nityaha, correct? And yuktaha means endowed, always present, sharirinaha. In all the living beings, this Atma is present as all the time. But the physical body can go, but the indweller will never disappear. Therefore, anashinaha. So nashaha means destruction. Anashi means what? It cannot be destroyed. Aprameyasya. See, aprameyasya is the same thing as what is sada asprishtam. Asprishtam is equals untouched. And sada aprameyam, our prameyam, not an object of knowledge. So aprameyasya means what? That which cannot be known. It is not an object. Atma cannot be known. Because it cannot be known, it is asprishtam. Okay. So aprameyasya. Therefore, tasmad yudyasya bharata. So therefore, you go and fight, because you are only fighting for what? You are going to kill the body. You're only going to kill those people who have got a physical body. In effect, you are not going to kill the Atma, because I am present as the Atma in you. I am present as the Atma in the Kauravas, the Pandavas, and everybody else. So you are not going to kill them anyway. You are not going to kill the Atma. You are going to kill the physical body. And antavantam imi deha. So the body is always going to go. So, and this is what dushtam ma vikshide janaha. So the janaha, the people, they see me as something which has got defect, because they connect me with what? Bhuta doshaihi. So they connect me with the dosha or the defects present in the living beings. Therefore, I am seen as the one with defect. But in reality, I do not have any defects. Why? Just as the example gives, Neela Vyomaha. Just as the blue sky remains untouched, untainted, it cannot be touched. Asprishtam, sada asprishtam. And who are the people who understand this? Yata balaha. So the people who are ignorant, they will not be able to understand. So yata balahu means is called vimudaha. Right? So vimuda na anupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Chapter 15. So chapter 15 is a very important chapter, because it gives you all the essence of everything. So vimuda na anupashyanti. See, deluded people can never see. And pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. So the only people who have got the jnanam, you can see them with the eyes of jnanam, only those people can say. Right? So vimuda na anupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Also, there's another reference here in chapter 5, verse number 19. Chapter number 5, verse number 19. See, nirdesham hi samam brahma, tasmad brahmani me stitaha. See, nirdosham hi samam brahma, because Brahma is supposed to be what? See, the Brahma or the Atma is nirdosham. And samam is actually of the equal. So Brahman is supposed to be, Brahman is of the nature of nirdoshaha, it is of equanimity. Samam Brahma, tasmat Brahmani me sitaha. Therefore, it is actually settled itself in Brahman itself. So all these are, to be remembered. Why? Because you are studying Bhagavad Gita, or you are. So it is crisscrossing all the Upadesha Sahasri is supposed to be a saransh or extract from all the Upanishad. It's actually like a culmination of all knowledge. That's why a person should have studied something before to understand this. This text is not taught to somebody who is a newcomer. Somebody who is just studying new into Bhagavad Gita, somebody is just starting Vedanta, we don't teach them, because even if they come also, they won't understand. They will go away. So, Bhuta doshai sadha sprushtam sarva bhutastam ishwaram nilam vyomayata bhalo दुष्टं मा वीक्षते जनः. So he says in the Bhashyam, he says that I am neither the Karanam nor the Karyam Dharma. So, Nahi Karyam Karanam Dharmaihi. That means what? I am neither the Karanam, nor I am neither the cause nor the effect. So, I do not have any Dharma. Correct? So, Brahman is neither the cause nor the effect, but the source of all the effects. Source, it's actually the very existence of everything. Correct? Sarva Bhuteshtu, very important. Sthitaha Asprishtam beyond doshaha. Right? And na karanam kari dharmehi. You can add another, it's not in the book, but you can add na karanam kari dharma. So my dharma is not neither karyam nor karanam, neither the cause nor the effect. Is it clear? See, this text says here, it's an excellent text for meditation. That means the people who have already been listening has got Shravanam done already, basic Shravanam and intense Mananam. So the people who have done basic Shravanam and doing intense Mananam, then this text is beneficial for them. If you are just going to do Shravanam, listening, go in temple, like people go and listen Katha Kalakshepam and then come back, and then after 1 week they may go, they may not. For such people, it will never benefit. You can do it, but it will not get registered inside, correct? Because it is actually for the people who want to now dwell on the Atma which is presented in the Upanishads. So it is actually a contemplation text, not even Shravanam text. Shravanam is already done. Maranam means what? The resolution of doubt is already in progress. So repeatedly listening Shravanam will clear your doubts. So Maranam means going back to your notes, reasserting, and then by elimination you say, no, this is something not required. So this is not, I understood this. So you finally are coming with a set of understanding, beliefs, or that which is you think is knowledge. And now you are now reaffirming this with this text. So this text reaffirms your already confirmed theory, confirmed knowledge. So now your knowledge becomes very steady. It will never deviate. Whereas if your Shravanam is not good, or on and off you are doing Shravanam, on and off you are doing Mananam, then this text will not benefit you. That's what it says here. It will not benefit you, it will give you some idea, but it will not give you the effect which you really want. So this is for the serious sadhakas, serious people who want to pursue Vedanta, serious people who want to pursue Atma Jnanam, and a person who wants to take one's life, one path in a different direction. So that is what it says here. Okay. So next, verse number 6 is, see the word Mat Chaitan, you must correct as Mat Chaitanya. So you read it as Mat Chaitanya Avabasyatvat. So Mat Chaitanya Avabasyatvat. Mat Chaitanya Avabasyatvat. Sarva Prani Diyam Sadha. Sarva Prani Diyam Sadha. Mat Chaitanya Avabasyatvat. Sarva Prani Diyam Sadha. Purmama Praninam Sarve. Purmama Praninas Sarve. सर्वज्ञस्य विपाप्मनः सर्वज्ञस्य विपाप्मनः मच्चैतन्यात् अवाबस्यात् अवाभास्यत्वात् सर्वप्राणिधियां सदा कूर्मम प्राणिनः सर्वे सर्वज्ञस्य विपाप्मनः. So mat chaitanya avabhasayatvat. So mat means me, chaitanya means consciousness, avabhasayatvat means illumined. And what is illumined? Sarva prani dhyam sadha. See, sarva prani dhya means what? Dihi means intellect. Okay. Sarva prani means all the intellect. See, now he goes one level. Previously, what did he say here? Oh, I am present in all of them as one. But in what? You are present as the intellect. So if there is an intellect present in them, I am the intellect in them. See, matasmriti jnanam apohanancha. Hope you remember this mantra, right? Sarvasya shaham hridisannevishtaha matasmritir jnanam apohanancha vedaischa sarvairahameha vedyaha vedanta krit veda videha chaham. So sarvasya shaham hridisannevishtaha. So hridi means what? I am present in the heart of every living and non-living beings. And mataha smritihi jnanam apohanancha. So I am present, mataha. Right? Same thing, mat here also. I am present in what? Smriti, in remembrance. Jnanam, knowledge. Apohanam, forgetfulness. So forgetfulness or absent-mindedness also am present. I am present also in knowledge. I am present also in what? In remembrance. As what? As consciousness. So if you say I am forgetful, that forgetful also is me. If you say I have knowledge, that also is me. If you say I remember, that also is me. So what the same thing says here, what? Mat chaitanya avabhasayatvat. So avabhasayatvat means that which is illumined by me is present in sarva prani dihi dhyam. So sarva prani dhya means what? In present in all the living beings' intellect. And sadha. See, sadha means what? Always. So it is not that intermittently I am present. I am present in the intellect of all the people all the time. All the living beings, I am present all the time. Then puhu mama praninaha. So the word puhu again remains what? So body. Mama praninaha means I am present in the physical body of everything. The bodies of all the living. Sarve praninaha puhu. Correct. See the word sarve praninaha mamaha puhu. So puhu means what? Physical bodies. Okay. So vapuhu means physical body. And mama means what? Me. Okay. So I am present in the physical bodies of what? Sarve praninaha. Got it? Sarve praninaha means all the living all the bodies which are present. I am present as the essence. As what? Might not chaitanya avabhasayatva. So I am present as the essence, as the consciousness in every living and non-living beings. So everything is illumined by me. I am the illuminator. Right. Then sarvagyaha asya vipapanaha. Right. See, vipapanaha means what? Papa means sins. And manaha means, the mind. So vipap manaha means what? I am present as vipapa means what? No papam. Okay. Saha papam means papam is there. So vipapam means there is no papam or there is no sins, there is no defects. So I am present in what? Sarvagyaha. See, Sarvagyaha means I am present as the knowledge, pure knowledge, and pure knowledge doesn't have any defects. Correct? Anything which is transmitted knowledge has got defects. There can be some alterations and can be modification here and there. But the pure knowledge doesn't have any defects. Sarvagyaha vipapmanaha. So the key words here are sarvagyasyaha. So sarvagyam means what's all knowing. Sarvagyam. Then sarva avabhasayatva means what? That which is illumining everything. Sarva avabhasayatvat prakashamanasya, that which is of the nature of radiance. Then Sarva Prani Dhyam. So Sarva Prani Dhyam means what? I am present as the intellect in all the living beings as the intellect there, right? Then Sarve Praninaha Puhu. So I am present as the essence in all the body, physical bodies also, right? And Vipapmanaha. So I am present as the one which is free of any sins or defects. Is it clear? Subbu, you're able to follow, right? Subbu, you're able to follow?
Yes. Wrong.
You're okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Because see, there are all these words, see, Mat Chaitanya Avabhasayatvat. So I am Avabhasayatvat means illumining. And Chaitanya means consciousness. And Mat means in me. So I am present as illuminator in whom? In Sarva Prani Dhyam. So I am present as illuminator in all the intellect of all the pranis. So whether it is in tiger, whether it is in ant, amoeba, whenever there is knowledge rising there, see, we should be able to appreciate everything. Even the ant also has got knowledge. How? Because it knows when to go for food, when to come out, when to hide from people, how to escape without knowing. Cockroach also has got knowledge, correct? Because it doesn't come out in the open. So all these insects which are there, they got their own intelligence. Just like we have our own intelligence, they have their own intelligence also. But they can survive, they can source their food, they can abscond, they can just live without your knowing also. Correct? Same way, so what it says is there that every living being, non-living being has got intelligence. And the intelligence is present, as I am present in intelligence also. So Sarve Prani Dhyam Sada. Sada word is important. Always. Not like intermittent. Always am present as the knowledge. Then Sarve Praninaha Mama Puhu. So I am present in all the physical bodies as the essence of everything. I am Sarvagyaha. I am all knowing, all pervading knowledge. Sarvagyaha. Then Vipapmanaha. I am free from all defects. I do not have any sins. So it gives more. No. So whenever you see the thing, I am a subject to, I am Sarvagyaha. If you think that I am Sarvagyaha, you are Sarvagyaha. If you think I am Alpagyaha, you are Alpagyaha. Because Alpagyam is actually Adhyasa. Correct? So when you say I am Alpagyaha, who says I am Alpagyaha? You say, correct? Or we say, right? So when you say that, when you say I am saying this, means from which standpoint are you saying? No, I am saying because I do not have knowledge. So it is actually from your own body dimensions complex you're talking about. But when I really ask you the question, are you talking from your standpoint of view or from Atma standpoint of view? What will be the answer? You will say that no, I am actually Sarvagya from Atma point of view. But I am Alpagya from the body mind sense point of view. because somehow in between the transition between Purna Jnanam and Apurna Jnanam, there's some problem there. Right? So understanding is there that yes, we are limited by our own intellect, etc. But in reality, we are not limited by any defects in the intellect, because we have doubt-free knowledge. But doubts come only when it gets transmitted through the intellect and through the manifesting medium. Right? That's what it says here. It's only all contemplation, all remembrance. You already know all these things. I taught you before so many things before. It is repetition is mentioned again and again for nididhyasana. Okay. So before I go next verse, I think I'll stop here, because next verse is a little bit not complex, but I need to explain more about this 3 stages of experience. Do you have any questions or anything so far in this verse or any of this so far? Suresh, is everything okay? Srikant, you are following? Very good. Uma, Singapore, you're okay?
Fine, Shankar.
Okay. See, as I told you in the previous class, I'm going to move this class from this 2 o'clock time to Saturday 8 o'clock, which is Sydney time. So which will be, Singapore time will be 5 p.m., right? 5 p.m.? 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
And for Indonesia, it will be 4 p.m. Suresh, is it okay with you? Because it's only for maybe till February or so, till all the season starts, everything. After that, we'll again go back to the previous one, or how, if this is comfortable, 8 o'clock. Because a lot of people are saying me that this 2 o'clock time is actually, after food siesta time. Sometimes after eating the food 2 o'clock, right? Jaishankar says, I really find it very difficult to focus on all these complicated topics. I told him, it is okay.
Actually, this time is better because it's before lunch for us.
I know, but what about the other one, the 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock is after lunch also. No? By this time, lunch would have been adjusted already. 4 o'clock, see, for me, it is actually 1 o'clock is my lunch time. And I come straight to class at 1:45 here. So the food is still sitting there as, not digested yet. It's only for some time. So I need your support and cooperation only for till February or so, or March. After that, we'll revert back to the old time for till next season starts.
No problem.
Okay. So we will. So next class will be at 8 o'clock Saturday time. So for those people who are not in the class, you can I'll put a reminder again. But just in case if you happen to know, you tell them it is actually at 8 o'clock, not on Sunday 2 o'clock next class. Is that okay?
So are we having class on Saturday, because that's Diwali day, right? Are we having that?
Saturday is Diwali day. I do not know. Is it Saturday Diwali day?
I'm okay. No problem.
Saturday is 14th Diwali day. 14th.
I think so.
Next Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. I think I can give you 1 day off, not 2 days off.
Friday evening and Saturday morning.
So we are talking Saturday night. At that time, Diwali will be over.
Okay.
We will continue with the class. Unless somebody doesn't want to come or wants to enjoy holiday, it's okay. It's fine. But we will still have the class. So we want to maintain continuity. We don't have a break as much as possible, because we'll see how far you go with that. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste.
Namaste.
We will see you at 4:30 for the Sasrama class for people attending. Okay?
Pranams. Thank you.
Sure.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Shankar.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om.